Hi, it's Melanie from Parenting High Schoolers, and I am here today to talk to you about why we need to continue to parent our teens. I was reading in an article the other day, and I saw somewhere where a lot of parents were writing in. I can't remember if it's a Facebook group or what it was, but they were writing in to say they were just giving up, that things were so terrible that they didn't feel like they had anywhere else to go. And I am here today to say to you that you need to keep trying. If our toddlers told it, like, babies aren't going to talk back. They're going to lay there and they're going to cry, and we're going to change their diaper, feed them, or whatever it is that they need. But then when they become verbal, when they become toddlers and preschoolers, they are going to tell us to no. They're going to tell us that they're not going to do something. They're going to try to assert their independence from us. And it is our job as parents to continue to say, I'm the parent, and this is what I'm expecting from you, and you need to do it, or whatever the case is. You will continue to parent them because they're little and they don't know anything. So then you move on, and then you're in the elementary years, and again, you are in charge, and they're going to continue to argue about whether they should do their homework or get to play outside, or, you know the topics, and there it is endless, and you will continue to need to be the parent and guide them and direct them and let them make choices within reason, but then you need to, again, you're the parent, be in charge. So now we're at the teenage years, and even a lot of times starting in the preteen years, they're really going to get sassy, and they're going to assert their independence, and they're going to need their privacy, and all of that is normal, and all of that is okay. But we need to limit these types of choices that they're making because we're the parent. If they want to have their privacy, then they can have their privacy for X amount of time, say an hour. They need to you need to set some rules about the cell phones, that every household is different. My kids have turned in their cell phones at 10:30, whatever their bedtime is during the week, and then they get to keep them later on the weekends. That's a parenting decision that my husband and I have made. But again, we are not letting them decide, oh, well, my friends all have their phones. I'm going to, I want it. Well, if they had said that when they were 8, we would not have let that fly. I want to encourage you as a parent of a teen to continue to say, I'm the parent, and these are decisions I'm making for your health, for your well-being, because I know more, because whatever, because I'm the mom, because I'm the dad, because I know more than you. And this is not going to sit well, and they're going to argue, and they're going to fuss, and they're going to throw a tantrum like they do when they're toddlers. I have written a blog post about the similarities between toddlers and teens. Hold your ground. Josh Shipp has a quote, and I may have already shared this in another YouTube video, I can't remember, but he talks about when you get on a roller coaster, you're going to check that bar to make sure it's holding you in, so that when it's doing a flip-flop, circle, and you're upside down on this ride, that it's going to hold you. Well, your kids are along the ride of growing up with you as their parent, and they're going to push against you because you're the bar. They want to know that you're going to hold firm. They're not going to like them. They're going to resist it, but you are the grown-up, and you know the choices. Our growing up was different from them, and they're going to throw that back at us. You're a boomer. I've heard it all. I teach middle school. But hold firm. You need to say no, then say no. Now, if a compromise can be made, I don't know what the situation is, and every family is different. Make a compromise. Let them try something new. Let them do something with the understanding that you will talk about it after it happens, that you guys can maybe give each other feedback. How did that work? Was it as great as you thought it would be? What did you feel safe? All those things. Being the parent of a teen is not all fun and games. And I think we like to commiserate and we like to complain and do it. I do it too. But I also remember that it is my place as a mom and my husband's place as a dad to say no, or maybe, or let's think about this, or let's make a compromise, or whatever the situation is. I do have another YouTube video about reserving the right to say not yet, maybe, let's think about it. So you might want to check that one out. But teens do need their privacy. They do need to start to assert their independence, and so that's okay, but you need to let them know that there are reasonable limits for that. And we typically, our rule was that you could be alone for an hour whenever that was, maybe it's before or after homework, or maybe it's in the middle, that's your break. Door can be closed for an hour, but then it's open. And back in the day, now school's just online, and I mean, I'm not even here for my 16-year-old all day. Back in the day, we would limit the amount of screen time. Maybe they were in their room, but they didn't have their phone. That's another way to it's up to you as a family what's going to work. Here's the other thing about teenagers. They don't know what they need. They know what they want, and they know what they don't want, they think. And that's going to change too. It's going to evolve. But they're going to say, I don't want you. I don't need you. Go away. I don't like that decision. They're not even going to be that nice. They're going to be horrible. But here's the thing. You get to decide. You get to say this, let's try it tonight, or whatever it is, and let's see how it goes. Because they don't know that they actually need us, because they haven't come through their teenage years. They're just probably getting started when all this starts happening, preteens and early teens. I've had 2 or 3 friends say the best thing I did was to stay in contact with my teen, to continue conversations, which is my huge platform. I'm like, talk to your teens all the time if you can, or and if you're so busy, then schedule those appointments to talk about big things and little things and just anything under the sun. They don't want us, and they're going to be very adamant about this, but they need us, and they don't know that. And I think we don't know that sometimes. We don't know how important we are in their lives. Both of my older sons have gone away. I have a 23-year-old and a 20-year-old. And they've both gone through college experiences, very different. One community college, one 4-year university. Neither was very far away, but they both lived away from home. And when they would come home, they would talk about the fact that their friends would say, you talked about that with your parents? You talked to your parent? And a lot of times it came from a place of jealousy. My boys would say, Mom, it makes me sad. These guys don't talk to their parents. They do deep down inside, where you don't see it and they don't know it. They do need you. And you don't push things and be a better listener than a talker, and don't be the kind that it's just you smother them with questions. Sometimes just being together is all that is necessary. It is our privilege. It is our right. It is our duty to continue parenting, to be that bar, as Josh Shipp says. I'll try to find that quote and include it below because I totally mangled it. But be that unshakable bar for your kids as they move through those crazy, tumultuous teen years where they're starting to drive and they're starting to date and having friendship problems and issues, and they've got frenemies and they've got a best friend that's been there for 6 years or since kindergarten, and then boom, they're not there. There's so many things happening in their teenage lives, and they do need us. They just don't know it. Be that parent, be that bar, be so proud of your kids. Let them see the good. Tell them what the good is. As you spend time with them, don't be all the negative, because that, again, is a true killer of the commitment and the connection that you're going to have. There's a time and there's a place, definitely, and it will happen. My kids weren't perfect. I'm not perfect. My husband's not. I mean, we've definitely had our ups and downs, but we have stayed the bar. We have stayed steady, and it's not easy. That consistency part is, we would find ourselves being lax, and then we'd look at each other and go, wait a minute, we wouldn't have let his brother do that. Or, and then some of those situations change too. And we've had to talk to the younger ones, like, it was different because of XYZ. Some of those situations will change, but you need to be consistent for each child. So what you won't let him do now, if you're going to start to let him do something, whatever it is, go out with friends or, have a dating relationship, then make sure that you are still being consistent with your original rules. Maybe they need to change. Maybe they need to be updated, but be consistent, because teenagers can sense, just like toddlers, the tiniest weakness. And they can sense if you're not on the same page with your spouse or significant other. They will wheedle and beg and plead and act like angels to get what they want. So be the bar, no matter what it is. And if you're gonna loosen the bar, make sure you have a good reason and that you've got a plan. because there are going to be times when you need to loosen the bar because you know there's not going to be a loop to loop that's just going to be smooth sailing. I encourage you as parents of teens to hang in there, be the bar, be strong, be firm. And I would love a couple thumbs up and for you to follow me down below on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.